start off with an expansion to a very well-renowned Eurogame. Let's get started with Concordia Solitaria. This is a small expansion for 1 or 2 players. I guess they didn't want to go with the Solitaria for 2 route. But Solitaria is a way that you can play against a computerized opponent, Contrarius or whatever they call him in here. You can play it solo, or you can play it as a team, as 2 players, against the bot here. In particular, you play cooperatively because this expansion not only has a few dice that kind of help make decisions for the computer player, but also they replace all of the cards you're going to play with. Primarily speaking, in a solo game, you won't use any of the cards in the base game, just the board and the resources. You're moving around the board, building up houses, playing out cards until you choose to do a turn where you recall all of the action cards back into your hand. I love that mechanism. What does this box do? It replaces those cards with cards that have all of the same abilities for you, but feature a little highlighted box that shows Contrarius's actions. So you don't actually run a computer player turn. You take a turn, and based on the card that you play, Contrarius, the Tomabot thing, will react specifically to what you've done. A lot of times it's earning victory points, but a lot of times it can be other things as well, and I really like that. It simulates having a computer opponent without having too much upkeep. That's one of my favorite things in solo modes. You're feeding him points throughout the game, and so you do have a win-loss condition. You are playing directly against a score that you see creeping up around the board. I like that a lot. I think that's really clever. Now, the 2-player mode for this, I haven't played the Concordia Venus expansion, which introduced the idea of playing in teams as 2 players. This is that same type of thing mixed with what I talked about, where the cards will show actions for Contrarius to take. I found, when I'm playing that together, I didn't love it because the rules as written say you're not really supposed to communicate. And I think that that's my favorite part of most cooperative games. This isn't like a limited communication game like The Crew, where your actions necessarily speak to your intent. So I found that a little bit odd, but I think that if you enjoyed that team-based mode found in the Venus expansion, this might work really well for you. But for me, I think this is a great solo add-on to the game because Concordia is a game that I have fun playing with. Now, is it something I want to set up on the table? It's kind of a big sprawling game. I'd rather play with other people. I really would. Or I might first go to the app. Concordia made a very good app recently. But if you are looking for a good solo Euro game like this, win-loss condition, thing that I like looking for, not too much upkeep and management, this one's really good. Rating it as a solo mode, I would give this one an 8.5. I think it's really good. So despite the fact that it might not be the solo mode that I go out to very often, I think it's really good for it to be there to scratch that itch. So that is Concordia Solitaria.